So one inlines round later, I thought about the dreaming. So I didn't sleep during the inline skates round, of course, but so I already have a hard time to remember. So it's easier backwards, of course. So I just saw Ochsner, so the one from Einsiedel, and I kind of invited him over because I wanna tell this story, but that might not work. And well, I guess I will leave it at that. And but then for the dream. So this is a perfect example, the best I have so far, of how that works. Because, so I can check, I just checked so the notes. What were my notes? So yes, this was the first new episode in more than a year. But it was this. So this was my real notes, right? So it was meant like this. So because Bach, Allah is probably the worst to endure, and you cannot press the suicide button, Jesus and so on. So that's what I didn't realize before the inline skate. The rest is kind of a riddle from me, which is my style, right? So that I don't mention the culprit. So this is another, maybe I should do another roulette spin for the first that finds the missing link, the missing person in this case. Nein, ich kann nicht. Also egal. Also, Susi könnte nicht den Anfang singen. So, egal. So that's not what it was. So that's just, yes. And that was really missing. So I was kind of trying to, coding, 5, 4, and I mentioned that, summarized, and that's how that works always. Then, that's how that works for Bach as well. When you compose, I mentioned that. So 5 voices, and then the 6th you have to work, or the 6th and 7th, right? So that's kind of because of that. And then, that was a story exactly. So my father, and I was really looking forward to this. Because I kind of was jealous of Roland and so on, and the vitrine of David and so. We went into the Jura to find our own fossils, and then we forgot. So we still have the Meisel, but we forgot the Hammer oder Pickel. And it was blamed on me. I was 5 years old and it was blamed on me. But that's my father. So it's, and that was always my mother. There needs just to be, but everyone knows that. Egal. So the, and the rest is perfectly known. But with this panic attack. So that was explained. It's not a Tourette or panic attack at all. It's not possible. It's not what it is. The problem is that the screenshot I mentioned was kind of by accident. So that's a one time. So it's not the same. It didn't remind me of that. It's just, this is kind of the phantom pain, and that was the Gedankenpaket attached to it. So, that's that is reasonable, because that was really before the surgery how I slept. on average. So like every hour you woke up because there was like a flash down the whole side, and it was measured. I have this Lähmungserscheinung. So I do feel like 15% less in the right right leg region and so. So that's exactly what it was, right? And it happens sometimes when I just have to like do the big business on the toilet. So that can happen, like I mentioned, with a flashback in a dream. So you can really have this kind of phantom. Well, I mean, I slept like that for 5 years. So that's completely reasonable. So it has not to do with Tourette, right? That's not. But I had this tic that I just had to observe the clock, but that's like a decade ago. No, it was in 2017. That was like yeah. But egal. So and then this is too good to be true. So I went back to sleep to really. I mean, this is like to really test it, right? And I mean, we made the trailer, so that's my trailer. So I of course remember what's in the trailer, and so that is originally so like from still 2020, I guess. Yeah, but there are a lot. There would be a lot more in the trailer, and so yeah. But like now we are for the kleine Lachmusik. So this is the real recording. So because that was I made right after I woke up, because that's my style. Sadly, the rest, I have to admit, I'm not this childish and genius. So that can only be, well, I don't know, like maybe, but I don't, also, I mention and I only know Mozart, and I do not know that much of Mozart by heart. We played Mozart like with the flute quartet and and like I know parts of like the operas, but I didn't perform many on my own. Actually, I wouldn't even remember one. We performed. I don't. But how can I prove that? So I mentioned. So the dream was like built on the phone calls I made yesterday. That's another like I explained that with the inverse of the correlation matrix. Right? So that's exactly what you would expect. So the last phone call, actually the longest yesterday, was with Rita and Fritz. Also Rita, and she was complaining about that gardening part of the Migros is now replaced by a Jumbo. And it's just not the same. So like she kind of, but she is like my grandmother, and so roses, that's her like passion. And so she asked about the Brombeere. So I just knew, well, that's another Rosengewächs. So I guess you should probably do something similar. Not like my parents managed. So you shouldn't like. So I cannot explain that English. So we like the worst idea is to like bind them when there is a lot of snow. So then you destroy the harvest because it's a 2-year cycle, but otherwise they are not. And I mentioned Mönckemeyer, so this Verhör, like well, for me it's Gartenpfui, so I'm really flowers, like it is mentioned for the Todesanzeige bei Susi Birchler Staub as well. No flowers, spend it to the elderly people's home or another. Yeah, that was is written there. And now, well, so because it was not about Jesus, it was about Astrid Lindgren. So it is a scary thing. Maybe I should put it back into the Schublade down there. So this is to explain my style, right? So I corrected it in hindsight, like this famous painting that was gifted to Andreas Küttel. So when he became the actually winner of the, what was that? Weltmeisterschaft, also im Weitsprung. And there, if you're too lazy, it's just back then. I think that was Esther that wrote it wrongly. So we probably were both not yet in school, and I was basically just able to write my name, I guess. And so I corrected that later, so I just made this slash. That was actually the gymnasium, so much later. And so it's a work so it's a collaboration work, but I'm more like the dragon and the environment. So this is, for example, not absolutely never would I, like, that's just not me, right? So that's not, like, that's just not my style. It never was. Like, I would never come up with the idea to, that's just, like, why would you, like, so like, this is also not the dragon, but the idea. So this is exactly my style. So it's not even mentioned. I looked it up later in the original Brüder Löwenherz. So this is this fight, and this is the Lindenwurm in the water. So they battle each other to death. The dragon Katla and this is the dangerous of all, right? So this battle, and this is another, like, that's never me. So, and Esther even like a panda in a safe house. No! So you see, that's exactly. Here is even a better. So the idea of the Lindenwurm. So over several pages, that is my style. You see, and that's with this last short, which will be, I guess, like this book, my first book as an artist. So like the editor, but the ideas, except the panda and the rabbit, I didn't even remember. But like, it's in the title, oder? Der Panda Schwarzfleck, der Hase Orange. Was? Der Hase Orange. Was? Orange! Not even Eminem can rhyme with orange. So like, why would you have that? I didn't remember that. So that is not my style. So it's just not my style. I promise, like, the only part that is my style about this stream is that. Because I'm the original Küchler and of 13th generation, and this is not just me, we improve over generations. In 13th generation descendant of the Bruder Klaus. So that I don't have this lazy dream. So the Klamotten, you actually did forget it. It's not a dream, right? And that you forget the scores. Like, you don't know how often I forgot the scores, but like Pater Lucas always had another extra, or then you look with like, that's not a nightmare at some point, right? It's like with soccer. It's not about like, yeah, but so that's like not even in a fever dream I would like kind of miss that, right? And so it's just my style that I have a dream like that. So it's not that, yeah. So and this is again, so like it was a test, right? So that's not, yeah, but like, yeah, that there would be probably, I mean, from like the physics class. So like probably from our group, so they are all menschenwürdig, but like I guess I worked the most with Urs-Li. So he had already finished, also was already a doctor, and then added physics, and he's now so like the leader of the Universitätsspital in, I don't even want to know where. So like, but like so, and I mean, he like probably has about the same schedule as this Kammersporn, right? So it's not like, I understand if they no longer answer, but like we played soccer together as well, so that's why like he would 100,000% remember everything as well. So like he played with the Jakin brothers, like on the Pausenplatz and so, and we had once that we had to like help out the team of more my brother, so, and they actually played, so they studied music, and so like they actually played with Thomas Müller, so the real famous, also like on the schoolyard and so, right? And so that was really like no one that was present there, and so I remember the Eutler, so he said, well, that's fine and good, but next time, please, we would prefer Arjen Robben as a replacement. Thomas Müller is kind of meh. We already have the best midfield with me, and so like we didn't need another midfield. But it was not so that's along those lines. Like everyone from the team would like, I would guarantee everyone that was just like part of, so egal. So but like that's just I lost. What was my point? Yeah, so this dream is not just the very ending. So the rest is just this is too genius. But and not my style, and I don't think that this needs to repeat, right? I don't want more unnecessary phantom nights and like be woken like that. But because it was already this bad of a Ramadan and whatever, so it doesn't matter. It's like compared to what they did for us, and it might even be that like that's not like so but that was actually the message attached to it. So because that's why I started with the creation in the vitrine. So not Kierkegaard, Astrid Lindgren is because it's about kind of a version of a Messiah. Brüder Löwenherz, so what is Jonathan is like the, and it's all about that. Right? So because they suffered this much, I didn't mind. So it wasn't Jesus, it was really the imaginary world of Astrid Lindgren. So just that, I forgot to note, because it's not, for me that's obvious, right? So completely obvious, because as I explained earlier, so that's just, like if you don't get that, what do you get, right? So that's just like not even fantasy. So right, that's, well, that's something I had to get off my chest again. I fear there will be more additions. And, nah, maybe not. Maybe that's, like, I explained the roulette and so on, with the Euler-Winkel, so like, I mean, there I could, of course, do more than, No, but that's not the point now. So I will just finish with the symmetry that reminds me of chess, because it's 12M. So what is this 12M? I have no clue. But this is the symmetry I will go for. So I don't need 12 seconds. I can stop